Hello friends, welcome back to our channel UiPath by Sujita. In this video, we are going to learn about an activity, a retry scope activity, which is a part of exception handling mechanisms. We have learned about try, catch, throw and rethrow activities, right? This is one among them. Before going to that, please do subscribe our channel, and if you like the videos, please give a like and share with your friends and colleagues too. Let us move on to the video part. Let us dive in detail about retry scope activity. Retry scope activity. We are going to learn about the definition, its usage, how to use it, and benefits of using this, and when to use it, and the difference between try, catch and retry scope activity in this video. So let us see the definition part. Retry scope. So it is, as the name defines, it is retrying something. What it is? It is retrying the contained activities as long as the condition is not met or an error is thrown. Please quickly make a note of this. Have a notebook and a pen or in a notepad so that it will be useful for you to refer it again when it is needed. So also, you will never forget if you keep on taking a notes of whatever you are learning, right? So that's the best practice. So now, just make just concentrate on the key points. It is retrying the activities based on the condition, right? So it will retry the contained activities, a set of activities, as long as the condition is not met or an error is thrown. So there are two things. As long as the condition is not met or the error is thrown. Okay. So how to handle this error and all? That's secondary. Okay. But just keep this in mind. So it will keep on retrying the set of activities until and unless the condition is not met. Now, there are two main sections in retry scope. First one is, yes, you're right. So from the definition you can guess. Action section, and what is the next one? It is going to be the condition section. Okay. So the second one is condition. So what this contains and what this contains, you can guess it very clearly. So action section contains, it holds the set of activities that we are going to, that this retry scope activity is going to retry. Whereas the condition section, it is going to hold the termination condition. Very clear, right? Very simple. Okay. Clear? Now I got a question. Okay, Sujita, you are telling that this is keep on trying, retrying the activities, set of activities. That means it is keep on executing the activities until and unless the condition is not met. What if suppose the condition is not met forever? Is it something that which is going to result in an infinite loop, or is there a way where we can come out of this retry? Yes, we can come out of this, provided we have to go to few properties. Okay, we can control the retry count using these properties. There is a property called as number of retries, which is used to give a specific number how many times this activity is supposed to retry, even though it is not met after reaching this count. It is not supposed to retry it again. Say suppose if I give some 3 here, it will retry for 3 times. If suppose in first retry it met the condition, well and good, it will come out of the loop, it will come out of the scope. Whereas even after executing, retrying after 3 times, even that time condition is not met, it is not supposed to go back and execute the activities. It is supposed to either throw an error, or it is supposed to come out of the scope and execute the next of the activities. Okay. Now, what is the definition of this? What this contains? Number of retry. Let me remove this 3. The number of times that the sequence is to be retrieved. And one more property is there, that is interval. What should be the time span between each retry? Is it something like one after one it is supposed to retry, or can we give some 2 or 3 seconds of time so that it will load the page, or it will work at background and it will come? Yes, we have a property to give a time span, the time interval for each between each retry. Okay, that is retry interval. Specifies the amount of time in seconds between each retry. And there is one more important property, that is continue on error. I said condition is not met or an error is thrown, right? If an error is thrown, it will completely, terminate the execution, right? How to handle this? We can set here using this property. If it is true, it will continue even it has thrown an exception. Okay, we'll show you in demo how to handle all this. Now I got one more question saying try-catch versus retry scope. Both try-catch and retry scope will serve the same cause, right? Both will catch and handles the exceptions, right? What is the difference between try-catch and retry scope in that sense? To answer this, I'll give you a clear information. There's no more difference, actually, only one difference. Retry scope activity is used for catching and handling an error, which is why it's similar to try catch, right? But what is the difference then? The only difference is this activity. Retry scope activity simply retries the execution instead of providing a more complex handling mechanism. So in try catch block, once after catching the exception, we will be redirecting the executor to execute some set of other activities, right? That is nothing but complex handling mechanism. So we are redirecting to execute something else. So instead of that, it will least bother about the handling mechanism, whereas it will keep on retrying the same set of activities which we gave in action block. Okay, I hope this is clear for you. You have learned a lot about this retry scope activity. Now let us quickly open our UiPath Studio. So I have created a retry scope, one separate sequence. So please do this along with me, so it will be easy for you to refer once again if it is needed. Okay, so just open your UiPath Studio, open a separate new sequence file. So it is always a good practice, to best coding practice, to rename the sequence. Retry scope sequence, and also whenever it is needed, you are supposed to provide an annotation. This improves your readability, the project readability. Okay, this is to give a demo on retry scope activity to refresh the, or to, I can say that, to reload the Google page. Okay, so this is my project now. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to have a separate new browser, Google browser, Google Chrome browser, where I'm going to search for something. I'm going to search for UiPath by Sujita, so that it is giving some results. So how can I make sure whether the search been successful or not? Before I move on to the further steps, I can just see this one, right? The Google. So when I see this logo, the image here, I can I can understand that the search been successful. Same way, what I'm going to do in my demo is, I'll be asking bot to search for this element. If this element exists, then go on for the further activities. Otherwise, retry until you find this element. Retry in the sense, I'm going to use this reload page. Okay, so here Until and unless this condition met, I am going to use this reload. So we are retrying this activity again and again until this condition is satisfied. So now let us go on to our studio and see how to use this. So quickly use an attached browser. So I'm going to rename this Google attached browser. So let us indicate this on screen. Now let us add retry scope in under activities panel. Just type retry. So you will get the retry scope activity. On mouse over to it, it is giving a clear information saying retries the contained activities as long as the condition is not met or an error is thrown, and it is included in which package? It is included in UiPath.system.activities package. So just drag and drop this. Right. Now quickly give a rename, reload, retry scope. Now you could see here there are two sections here. One is for condition and the other one is for action block. So let us have a condition first. What is our condition? We are going to use element exists, right? And quickly indicate this element on the screen. So I'm going to find this particular element. Okay. So now go to properties of this, Control K. It is going to be a boolean, right? Because the condition should always return either false or true. So boolean element exists. Okay. So enter. Quickly go back to your variables. And then since that I have tried it earlier, it is showing it. So by default it is false. Okay. So this is going to be in retry scope. And what is the name of this? It is bool element exists. Fine. Let us see what went wrong here. Exists. The name is wrong. Okay, fine. Now it's been condition is there. Now let us concentrate on the action block. So what is the action first? We are supposed to use the click activity to reload the page. So let us indicate this here on the screen. Okay. So done. Okay. So now let us see the reload retry scope properties. We have learned that there are two properties, and the two important properties and one common property. Number of retries. Let us say for example 2 retries. Okay. And retry interval, say let us give something like 2 seconds. Right. Save it. And remember, we are not giving anything here, continue an error. So it will be by default false. Okay, fine. So now let us execute this. To make sure that it is executed successfully, let us have some write line activities inside the action block and after the retry scope. So I'm going to give this executed the retry scope activity. I can say that came out of the retry scope activity. Okay, so it came out of the retry scope activity. Now we can give it as executing retry action block. Okay, so now let us run this. Let us see how it works. Right? Superb. Superb. It has done. So what it did, it has executing the retry action block. Since that it found the element, what it did, it just came out of the retry scope and has went to next activity, that is nothing but our write line. See this, whatever text message we have given in the write line activity, it has been here in output panel. So perfect. Now let us do one more round of testing. I'll be keeping this page now so that the Google image is not available. So for that, what I'm going to do is, let us go back to our retry scope and let us make sure whether this attached browser is properly being there or not. Let us use what we are supposed to use. Yes, this one. Let us use this again. Okay. Now let us save this. So the expectation is it is supposed to retry twice. Okay. And it is supposed to throw an exception on third try. Instead of going for a retry at third occurrence, it is supposed to throw an error saying this particular image not found, because we haven't given this as true right here, continue on error. So it is supposed to exit this retry scope activity throwing an error. Okay, now let us run this file. See, it is clicking on the refresh button. So it is waiting for the interval. Since that we have given, so it has executed, it has clicked on the reload button twice. So now it is checking for the element again, and then since that it is not able to find the element, it is supposed to throw an exception. Now it will come out of the scope throwing an error. Super. See what it is saying, action failed to execute as expected. Now let us close this and see the output panel. So 2 times it has executed. See this right line being executed twice, right? That means the action block being executed twice. And in the next retry, instead of retrying, it is, since that it got failed finding the element and the continue on error is not true, because of that reason it has, what it did, it threw the exception. So let us go back to our, this one, definition. What we said, until, as long as the condition is not met or an error is thrown, in these two, until this meets, it keeps on retrying the activities. So this being tested now. Now let us do one thing. Go back to our studio. What I'll do is go to your retry scope properties and give the continue on error as true. Save it. Now rerun this file again. So my expectation is, let me open this. Yeah, right. My expectation is it is supposed to skip the error. It is supposed to ignore the error and move on to the next activity, which is nothing but our right line activity. Since that we have given the continue on error as true. Okay. So even though it is not able to find the element, Google element, it is supposed to retry twice, and for the third run, instead of retrying, since that it catches some exception, it is supposed to move on to the next activity. That's the expectation. So you could see it is getting it is retrying this, reloading this page, right? Yeah, super. So I hope you got a clear information on this activity. So if you like this video, please do subscribe our channel for more videos. Also, please select the bell icon and all option for our next video notifications. Also, please share these videos with your friends and colleagues, and your support will help me a lot. Okay, this execution been completed without any error, right? Let's move on to the output panel. Superb. See here, it has executed the action block twice, and then even though it has encountered some exception, it has ignored this exception and it came out of the retry scope. So there are multiple use cases for this retry scope. The only thing is, it is very simple. The only thing is, you are supposed to know what are the properties are available and how to use it and when to use it, right? Meet you through our next videos. Thank you so much for your support so far. Let us continue with some other exceptional mechanisms, techniques in our coming videos. Till then, keep learning and keep automating. Thank you so much. Bye bye.